So we're going to be playing Cigarette in the Map. No, we're going to be playing Tomcat by Player Software. So I believe these games were £3 each on tape. Not 100% sure on that. Now I do have the entire players directory sorted out. I don't know if they'll work. Played a few of the games and most of them are shit, but for some reason I've stuck this on a completely different SD card. It's actually the one from the camera, so I must have liked the screenshots. So I guess that's what we're playing now. Well, Tomcat is obviously the nickname for F-14. Well, it could be actually somewhere on the SD card there was something to do with Tomcat. Actually, I think it's high-tech software. Alternative Software are the most shit company in the lot, mate. They're probably the worst budget thing ever. Almost all their games are fucking shit. Anyway, you have to use the cursor keys, which is a bit iffy the way the camera is at the moment. Space to read on, actually. Blah 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 blah. Front machine gun dual. Front and diagonal machine gun. Okay. Yeah, we go with side machine gun. No, we go with missiles. I presume you need missiles to hit ground targets. Wouldn't make any sense otherwise. So. Yeah, 3 and M. Okie dokie. I would say that's a shit picture of Kelly McGillis, obviously, but then she does look like a fucking man anyway. Maybe that's where the rumour that Tom Cruise is gay came from. He wasn't really in love with Kelly McGillis. I think he was banging Nicole Kidman. No, it wasn't actually. Well, we're only testing the game engine, so yes. Yes. Three and 4. Return to continue. Try not to hit the camera here. One hit is enough. Yes, definitely. That should be a fucking standard, that should. And level size, only 4 levels, right? And Commodore key for level skip. In case I get bored. You can get bored with trainer options on. So obviously they love Top Gun. 1988 this is. So did they buy it off someone else? Well, graphics are quite nice. Oh, actually everything's in the border as well. Okay, I'm not going to move the camera so you can see the stuff in the border. Your weapon select is in the bottom border, and you know, your score and your lives. I believe it's 2-player simultaneous as well. Thank you. I'm smoking it. Rapid fire, the smoker's option. Or perhaps someone who's only got one hand. Maybe Jeremy Beadle would actually benefit from rapid fire on his joystick. Who knows, sir? That was a great joke about Jeremy Beadle. And I'm going to say it now. You might say it's disrespectful. But as for years of all that fucking Who's Been Framed shit I had to watch as a fucking teenager with a family. Jeremy Cock, I gave the fucking joke away. Jeremy Beadle's got a small cock. But on the other hand, that still makes me laugh. The old ones are the best, mate. So graphics are very nice, game engine's very nice. I probably should have gone with black instead of, grey too. Or possibly the darkest grey, because look. Yeah, they should have gone with the darkest grey for the sprites. And perhaps a different colour here, maybe orange and brown instead of grey and orange or brown, whatever it is. It might be both actually, Is that yellow? Very colourful game. No music while the game is going, so there's that. So I suppose it's a bit like Tiger Heli with a massive F14 sprite. So there's that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the grey. Grey desert, I've never really seen that before. Yellow, Orangey yellow sand, Grey sand, no, that's called a quarry, mate. So perhaps this is some sort of quarry, and who knows, mate. End of level bad guy? No, there's no end of level bad guy, it's a budget game. So I'm guessing some of these things take more than one hit, which would annoy the fuck out of me. There's not actually that much going on. Hold your horses, mate, it's no crossfire on the Famicom. But it does make me think that graphically the backgrounds could be closer than I thought they possibly could be if someone was to convert Crossfire to the C64, but there's not really a lot of that going on in the cracking community, demo community. But I stopped watching demos on the C64 a long time ago. I'm doing really well considering I'm smoking, I'm not even pressing the fire button. So there's that. But yeah, I'm guessing this game is quite difficult. Because it does seem pretty straightforward here. So the multiple hits business is probably what makes a difference, I would say. Title music is alright, because I wouldn't download the SID for it, let alone burn it to a CD and play it in my car, so there's that. Now I decided if I was going to do reviews, as in score them, going to have very strict parameters. So we're going to have 50% of the score is going to be based on the actual graphics. And 50% of that is going to be sprites and 50% background. So all those BBC Micro colour games can fuck off. 25% is going to be game engine coding. Now of course I'm very harsh about both the graphics and the game engine coding. So you might think the game is programmed not too bad, but I might give it fucking 12.5%. So, you know, brace yourself. And sound would be the other 25%. So the title tune is inoffensive, and there's no in-game music. So sprites and backgrounds for a budget game, because obviously we have to bear that in mind. You could buy three of these budget games at least, if not 5. for the price of something like Whizball or Parallax or Risk. So you have to bear that in mind, I think. So with that in mind, I'm going to say it's 50%, 5 out of 5 basically, because I'm not going to do it any more than like, 5% increments. Well, a little PCB looks quite nice there, but those resistors are the size of a fucking Fiat 500, I reckon. So yeah, the game engine is also coded just fine. So already up to 75% for a budget game. Now the sound effects themselves are okay. So I'm going to say 10% of it is going to be the title music, 10% the in-game, and 5% is going to be the sound effects. So I'd say 5% for the sound effects. So we're on to a winner, already at 80%. Now the problem is there's no in-game tune, so we're stuck at 80%. And well, the title music's alright, there's nothing wrong with it, but like I said, I wouldn't download the SID for it or nothing. So that's a 5 out of 10. So it's 8.5 out of 10, or 85%, or 852 if you want to be one of them pretentious wankers who did the reviews at Advanced Computer Entertainment magazine. ACE to you, sir. So that's not bad then. I think 8.5 out of 10 for a budget game. Now, you have to bear in mind, I might be being harsh, because not all budget games have in-game music. So that is something to consider. So I'm just trying to think how to divvy up the scores then, for the fact that the title music does exist. That's a bit better now. The title music does exist, but there's no in-game music, but that's not a common thing on the C64. So might have to go the Top Gear route. Well, you can't mark down the in-game music because there is none. So I just have to go quality of the music, 15%, and 5% if it's got in-game music, 15% for the quality of any music, in-game or title page. So from that point of view, I'd say 10 out of 15 for the tune. So we're up to 9 out of 10 really. I think that's fair for a budget game. It's not that much worse than Swiv, and Swiv was 10 quid and that had no music in game. So for a budget game, 9 out of 10 I reckon. That's pretty high for me actually. Now, we're going to have to get difficulty into there somewhere. So if a game is too difficult, I think we're allowed to knock up to 20% off. So if the difficulty is just fine for the genre of the game we're playing, we'll leave it as it is. If it's a little bit tough, it's just like, arcade game quality, we knock it down 10. And if too many things take too many hits and it just seems impossible with the weapons you start out with, that'll be like up to 20% knocked off. So it could be that this game goes down to 8 out of 10 for a C64 budget game. Possibly 7 out of 10. Yeah, I think that's a fair score. So I think my new way of reviewing games, I think to get the extra 5% on the music, we'll have to go with would I download the SID? Okay, something's happened here. Hey! We didn't do that before. Oh, actually. Yeah, it won't let me skip anymore. Well, that's handy, Harry. Review's over anyway, mate.